Sorry. All right, no worries. Driving lessons. Hi guys, Tab here, hope you're all keeping well. Video has been long overdue, apologies for the delay. Long overdue, just like a haircut for me. I think I need to get one of those seen too. But this is going to be a bit of a bittersweet video because this car, the McLaren 570S, which is amazing, still the best car I've ever owned by a long shot, is going to be up for sale, potentially. Coming to the end of the 3-year lease, so we know we got options. You can extend, you can buy it, or you can sell it. And I think for me, the right thing to do right now, just where I'm at with my weird head, is probably to sell it and move on and try something else, because it's just the way my car brain works. Always want to try something different. There's a lot to discuss on this one in terms of the reasons, thought process. So we're going to go out for the obligatory YouTube drive and discuss through those points. But yeah, it could be the last time the car has ever or will ever be on the channel. Interesting one. And I'm also rocking some new mic technology for this one, so let me know how it sounds. Don't forget to sub too if you haven't. Massively appreciate it. This new mic technology is fantastic. It means I can talk to you from here or over here. Don't know why I did that, but because I can. So anyway, let's go for a drive. I do need to apologise for the cleanliness of the car. It was clean for the shoot, but unfortunately it rained on the way here and covered in dust. But I think you'd agree, even covered in dust, the car still looks pretty darn fantastic. Cool, let's go. So the first thing is where to start in the ownership experience of this car. I think the first thing to consider is the fact that I've had this car for 3 years. It has absolutely flown by, even with the wormhole that was COVID. I think if I'd been waiting 3 years for something, it would feel like a very long time. But once you've got something, once you're in the ownership experience, once you're having fun with it, that time seems to go really, really quickly. The ownership experience has been fantastic. The enjoyment I've had from the car has been absolutely second to none. And the community that surrounds it and the love that the car gets has been thoroughly enjoyable. I've really loved being a part of it. So, is this the end of my McLaren journey? I don't think it is. Absolutely not. So, what is next for McLaren? Well, we know the Artura was supposed to be released, and yes, I keep banging on about it, but unfortunately it does keep getting delayed, so hence I keep banging on about it. But my reliable source inside the McLaren Owners Club has informed me, whilst obviously adhering to his NDA as much as possible, that the Artura is set for a June release for drives, test drives, with customer deliveries commencing shortly thereafter. And he does also inform me that McLaren do indeed have a plan in place. An actual plan. A real plan. A plan, apparently. Who knows what that means, though? I believe there's talk of a successor to the P1, and the P1 blew everything away, so it's going to have to be pretty special. But one thing we do know is McLaren absolutely want to get back to being a prestige, premium, low volume, high cost car manufacturer. There's no doubting that at all. We know previously they went to town on production, probably more so than they should have done. And there's no real rhyme or reasoning as to why that was. My personal take is it was to simply produce a lot of volume, buy the market, steal away customers from the likes of Porsche, Lamborghini, potentially Ferrari a little bit maybe, but I have said before they're a very loyal bunch. But they recognise that's hurt them. It's hurt the residuals, and it's hurt potentially the quality of the brand a little bit. We know there's plenty of hearsay and rumours online about the quality and build of McLarens, but don't listen to any of it till you've got out there and driven one yourself, and then make up your own mind, because believe me, your mind will be made up in a very good way. So this isn't really the end of my McLaren journey, absolutely not. I still love the brand. The cars are amazing, and every time I get in it and fire it up, I'm smiling and really enjoy the drive. I can't believe that it's happened so quickly, the 3 years. It's just bonkers how quickly it's gone. But I think for me, the journey definitely isn't over. I just need to kind of see what happens. I really do want to drive the Artura before taking the plunge. And if I was to take the plunge, I would absolutely be in a long waiting line to get one. I think that's the reality of the situation. I don't have an order in now. I know plenty of folk who do, so I'm not going to be at the front of that queue by any means at all. So it would be a wait. So I really do want to get a drive in it and hopefully do a video on it, which would be great fun and give you guys a bit of flavour just in terms of what it can do potentially. Hopefully very good things. I've heard from the people that have been out in it that it is indeed very good. So I'm very excited for that, really am. But the whole shift, you know, McLaren, they really are at an inflection point for me. They have to ace the Artura, and the fact that they've delayed it so much, to me, says they want to get it right. They want to get it absolutely right before getting out, and I hope it is the case, because if they get it out and indeed it does suffer from any problems, it's not as reliable as people expect, then it's not going to do the brand any favours, especially as there's a lot that is being pinned upon the Artura being a success. And, you know, everything on paper says that it should be. The numbers, the drive, the looks of the thing, I think it looks great. I love the way they've deleted that sill on the bottom of the car, the bottom of the doors. Just looks great. Really good bit of car. It's going to be good. It better be good. I'm sure it'll be good. So the journey isn't over, but for now there is another car on its way. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but it doesn't have an engine. There's a little clue there, potentially. Now, I know we've not got long left with ICE cars. Well, to be fair, we have still got quite a long time. What, 2030, 2035 for the hybrids? You know, to be frank, that's still a long time with ICE cars. And they're not going to disappear at the end of that. They'll be around, I'm pretty sure, for a long time after, right? And that's not to say that, you know, synthetic fuels or something else, hydrogen fuels, might finally become a viable option and allow us to continue driving ICE cars in an environmentally Greta Thunberg friendly way. So we have to wait and see what happens with that, but ICE cars aren't going to go away like that. They're not. There's going to be plenty of people that want to continue driving them and will push for them, I'm sure. But, you know, manufacturers equally recognise that they've got to be going down the route of EVs, okay, because it's an inevitability. So they need to get ahead in terms of the tech. I've driven, or I've owned, I should say, a lot of ICE cars in my time. So I want to try something a little different and, you know, kind of see how that goes. I think it'll be quite an exciting experience. And, you know, if something else comes along in the interim that tickles my fancy, I might jump out of it and jump into that. But this car I've owned since I started this channel, and the channel is definitely McLaren friendly. You all know that if you've watched any of my videos previously. And it will absolutely continue to be McLaren friendly, because as I say, I absolutely love them. I've only had this car for, when did I set the channel up? Maybe a year and a half ago now, I think. So I've only had this car for a year and a half whilst I've been on the channel. So, you know, hopefully get plenty of other great cars on the channel coming forward, and not just my own cars, but get out in other people's cars and tell you my thoughts on them, and hopefully have a bit of fun. I mean, I do, the feeling that you get, the feeling that I get, getting in any new car, even if it's something relatively sensible, for example, a Skoda Fabia, it's always exciting closing the door on a new car when you're in on it. That feeling, I've had it since I got my first car, and every other subsequent car that I've received new car, just get that buzz, that new car feeling. So why am I getting rid of this car? I'm not getting rid of it. I'm finding it a loving new home, and I'm sure somebody will cherish and enjoy this car hugely as well, because it is a great car, and in this colour I just think it looks absolutely lovely. I've owned this car for 3 years, and I think if I'd owned any car for 3 years and you're a car enthusiast, you kind of want to start to think about what might be next. You want to explore the next car. Unfortunately, I don't have a load of cash to throw at cars and have a massive garage. If I did, I would probably be keeping this. In fact, definitely be keeping this. But to be able to try something new, unfortunately, I do have to sort of say goodbye to this one. And I'm sure it will go on to a great home. There is absolutely no questioning that. Somebody is going to get a lot of enjoyment out of this car, just as I have. I think the thing that I will probably take away from this, two major things I'll take away from the ownership experience of this car, and the first of which is absolutely the drive of the car. It is a brilliant drive, and if you get the chance to get in one and drive one, please do so. The other thing is the amount of respect it gets from other road users and passers-by who just want to sort of comment and recognise their appreciation for this car. It is a really lovely looking car. That's one thing I probably don't get bored of, is every time I see this car, I think, wow, it looks great. And the other thing as well is if this happens pretty much every time, if I see another one of these cars on the road, I kind of think, wow, what a great looking car that is. Oh wait, it's a 570S. I've got one. They're such good looking cars. Frank Stevenson has a lot to answer for. Great design guy, you know, some iconic designs under his belt. Looks to nature for his design influences. I think the design of the 570 took a lot from aquatics and fish, and you can see that when you look at it. But it is a great car, and if you get the chance to own one, and they're good money now to get hold of one, something you really should consider. So, yeah, it's the other thing as well. I know, I can guarantee when this car is gone, I know I'm going to miss it. That classic adage, right? You don't know what you've got till it's gone. Will absolutely be the case with this. I will be pining for it, I'm pretty sure, once it's gone. So I wanted to just give you my thoughts and talk to you about the next steps. Plenty of excitement to come on the channel, absolutely. So do sub, stay tuned, and I'll hope to keep feeding it with content. But for now, really appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll sign off before a gentle tear rolls down my face. Bye for now.